Thank you so much for joining me in this session, for taking the time to come and listen, for the energy and the focus and the attention that I hope that you will give me over the next wee while. I'm here to talk to you about time, energy, and attention. And I am so excited to be sharing with you the launch of a new initiative, which is something that is the culmination of a body of knowledge for my own journey and my own development and learning over the last, not 10, but 20 years. So yeah, that probably says that I've done my 10,000 hours. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Mel Ross, and I am absolutely delighted to be sharing with you today something new, but also something old. It's a little bit like the saying when we're getting married, isn't it? Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. I cannot guarantee anything blue for you today, but let's just see whether I might be able to share some insight and some knowledge for you. So let me just share my screen and we can kick off with today's session. So you're here probably because something has grabbed you, something has piqued your curiosity, something has resonated with the way that you are experiencing work and or life right here, right now. And that's probably something to do with the 3 top pain points that most managers, knowledge workers, and leaders are experiencing all over the globe right now. Entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, etc., etc. Time poverty, low and inability to sustain energy, and of course, the ability to focus on what is right, what is important, what is valuable and meaningful. What I do want to do, though, I want to kick off the session just by sharing with you a little bit about my story. I don't normally really harp on about myself, but I think because it's contextual, because so much of what I'm going to share with you today has actually been my journey, which is the reason why I am here able to talk to you about today's topic, is really important. So you can see a couple of pictures down there, and the picture on the right is really a great representation, a great symbol and visualization of where I am right now. I am definitely in a time of life where I feel fulfilled, I feel in control, I feel that regardless of what happens outside the conditions and the environment, be that work, be that technology, be that, economics or society or beyond, I feel that in myself, I am the one that is in the driving seat. And that has taken practice, dedication, commitment over many, many years. But on the left-hand side, that's kind of me in another iteration. That's kind of me years ago, where I wanted to be this kick-ass kind of executive leader that was out there just achieving and achieving and achieving and achieving, and all about peak performance in work, all about success in work. When I get there, when I get that, everything else will fall into place. Well, let me tell you, that's not the truth. And I wonder whether you feel that for yourself as well. So what are we talking about today? What am I introducing to you today? What is this journey about that we're kind of, opening the gates and starting to hurl forward with? Well, it's a journey first and foremost about time. And let me ask you something. When you think about time, what do you think? Do you think pain? What do you think about when you think about the challenge and the pain of time, either for yourself or in the story and the narrative of people around you? Not enough time, having to do more with less, stealing time from precious personal life in order to deliver what you need to deliver in the work environment, etc., etc., etc. We are, without question, undergoing a time poverty pandemic right here, right now. The next thing that I want to do is I want to also introduce to you the concept of energy and ask you the same question, but in terms of energy. When you think about pain or challenge around energy, What comes up for you? What do you hear in the stories and the narratives of people around you? Low energy, energy being drained from me, inability to sustain energy, zapped. I know that I was talking with a leader yesterday, and he was talking to me about, Mel, I give all of my energy to work during the day, and I'm in and out of Zoom meetings and team meetings, and the energy that needs to come into each one of those meetings means that by the time I walk downstairs to spend the precious time with my wife and my kids, I'm just empty. I'm literally running on empty. So energy, our ability to raise our energy levels and to sustain our energy levels is getting tougher and harder for us all, with all of the noise and the fragmentation of modern life and work. And then, of course, talking about fragmentation, talking about white noise, there is the A of T, which is attention. And again, I'll ask you the same question. When it comes to your ability to focus attention, what comes up for you in terms of pain, in terms of challenge, and what stories and narratives can you hear around your organization, around your team, maybe even friends and family? Our ability to focus in on what we need to focus in on, what's right, on what's important, on what's valuable and meaningful and is the priority, is really tough for us right now, huh? We all feel it. How do we really zone in and focus our attention, which then allows us to enter into states like flow, states like deep work? That stuff is really important to us. Those elements are really important to us. And they're not magical elements that you might naturally be born with and somebody else over there isn't. No, these are skills. These are skills that we can develop. Time, energy, and attention. All of them together, holistically, is really where the magic source is. I have spent years working on time, working on raising my energy levels, working on building my attention and focus. And actually in my own journey, in terms of my personal and professional development, I have 3 key uniquenesses that suddenly together allow me to work with leaders and teams and entrepreneurs and people from all walks of life to help master these 3 elements. What are those 3 things? The first one is age-old wisdom. Things like the techniques of meditative practice, the techniques of balanced holistic health, physical, emotional, and cognitive. The ability to use technology. I'm a tech geek, I always have been. I've been in the world of digital transformation. I was part of that huge digital revolution when we were moving from analog to digital, and have stayed within that world. And just knowing that the technology that we have access to has got so much latent, untapped potential and possibility, if we are able to tap into it and control it and use it for our own good, can free up so much time, a minimum of 2 hours in your week, and some say even a maximum of 3. Wow, huh? Wow. And also alongside age-old wisdom, flow practice. I'm a breath coach, thinking about all of the meditative practices, then technology and digital, leveraging those, and not just the technology that we've got access to, but also the emerging technologies that are coming in. There are leaders that I'm working with right now. Well, we're working with hacking their technology that they have around them in their working life. We're hacking it with prompt engineering, using AI and leveraging it so that we are able to free up more and more time in order to raise our energy levels, in order to think more, in order to play more, in order to learn more. So technology is really important, both new and emerging. And then there is science. Then there is science. You know, the investment in my own journey into positive psychology, into the world of neuroscience has been incredible. It has absolutely opened up so much for me in terms of my own ability to master time, attention, and energy, but also to help others. So as, you know, a coach in positive psychology, as the author of Modern Mindset Theory, the whole neuroscience is really key. So mastering time, energy, and attention is holistic. It's not about one of them, it's about all of them together. And in my work, I have recognized and codified all age-old wisdom with hacking and leveraging new and emerging technologies, as well as leveraging the neuroscience that is available to us, bringing those disciplines, bringing those techniques, all of them together in order to help you master these three things exactly as I have done. So something really interesting that I kind of did when I was putting my slides together for today's session was I put the word focus into the icon area in my Microsoft PowerPoint. And the image that came up for me was just one image. And it was the image that you see right on the top right-hand side of this screen. It was a mobile phone with a line through it. And I just find that quite an interesting little nuance for us all to consider, that a big technology organization in one of their software packages is actually saying to us that, you know, the representation of focus is actually, you know, starting to take control of our devices, of our usage of technology. So there's something small in there and subtle in there for us to consider as well. So moving on, I just want to share with you just, you know, some thoughts and to bring some flavors to really, really focus our brains in a little bit on today's subject. Burnout is what happens when you try to avoid being human for too long. Wow. You know, I think that quote is so incredibly powerful by Michael Gungor. Why is it powerful? Because so often we forget who we are. The pressure and the weight of the conditions and environment around us, our work, our projects, our programs, our targets, our success, you know, our ambitions weigh so heavily upon us that we can very, very easily lose sight of who we are as human beings, our values, our purpose, what's really meaningful to us, our strengths, our uniquenesses, you know, the experience that we had that's come from our past that we might not be using. We might have forgotten about it. So I love this quote. Something else to consider is the statistic here that says that 65% of knowledge workers have shared that they don't have enough time to learn. Now, when we're not learning, we're not evolving. When we're not evolving, that means we're not moving. When we're not moving, we're stuck. And when we're stuck, we're unable to see around us. When we're stuck, we're relying on the past to make our decisions. We're not able to lean into the future or uncertainty. It is absolutely imperative that we find and free up time to learn and experiment and explore and to just really try new things and to play. And that is something really important. I often hear from people that I am coaching and mentoring that the way that they actually invest in learning is by stealing time from the precious moments of their personal life because they're too busy at work. That's an imbalance. That's an imbalance that we can address. And that's what we do when we work on T, time, energy, and attention. And just a nod to the real power that we're not tapping into in the majority around using technology is something that we can see here. 20% of our time is used trying to access information in order for us to make decisions, in order for us to take action. 20% of our time, you know, that's 1/5 of our week, which is equal to one day. Amazing, huh? So when I talk about time, energy, and attention, what exactly am I talking about? Well, I am talking really about freedom, frequency, and focus. Let me explain. Time. How often do we feel that we are slaves to time? We try and control time. Time is not there for us to be controlling. What we need to do is we need to work on ourselves to become free of time. It's about freedom. It's about creating space that we can stop. It's creating space that we can think, space that we can rebalance and harmonize between work, time, and life in general. Time, play, family, friends, love, relationships, etc. Freedom of time is so important. And then when it comes to energy, what am I talking about? When I talk about energy, really what I'm talking about is I'm talking about leveling up our frequency, our level of frequency, raising our level of frequency when it comes to energy. If you've ever come across the work of David Hawkins and a brilliant book called Power versus Force, he talks about the science of the levels of frequency that we bring into our life, our work, our play. And what do we mean by these levels of frequency? Well, I think we can all in some way, shape or form experience it or think about a time in our life where we have experienced this. And let me give you a quick example. How many times have you walked into a room with other people? Is it a meeting? Is it a party where you've been so happy and so excited? You've got high energy levels and that just goes into the room and other people feel it. And it's contagious. And equally, how many times have you or someone else walked into a room or a party or a conversation even where they are bringing low energy, negative energy, heavy energy into the room and it plays out toward others? So making sure that we are able to raise our energy levels is really important. And I'll explain to you a little bit later on in today's session why that is important. And finally, attention. Attention for me is really about focus. You've probably heard the saying, where you put your focus, your attention follows. What does that actually mean? What it means is where we look, that's where our thought goes. Where we look is where our brain goes. So attention and focus and flow and deep work is all really about mindset. Of course, it's about the balance and understanding of who we are with our purpose and our balance and sweet spot between complexity of task and competency of task too. Time, energy, and attention holistically worked together using age-old wisdom, managing and hacking new and emerging technology for our benefit, and energy, and then attention, which is about our mindset, which is about using this neuroscience of what's happening right here, right now, on the edge of the scientific world, bringing us so much knowledge and wealth to understand how our brain works and to understand how we can start to really reprogram our thought patterns in order for us to really start being successful and to be happy. More often than not, when you enter into a journey, an experience, working with a coach or a mentor, or investing in a program that is about something that is probably more symptomatic, like resilience, burnout, happiness, well-being, there is a huge focus on what we do and how we want to do things differently. There is also a focus on our behavior and how we might be able to change our behavior and the way that we do things. All of that stuff is really important. What we do is the action. How we behave is really essentially emotions, right? It's feelings, it's chemical reactions in our bodies. But what's underneath the iceberg is where lasting change and evolution comes from. And that is where we get to the root cause of why we do what we do, why we behave in the way that we behave, the beliefs and the values and the thinking and the mental models that derive that stuff that is above the iceberg, above the waterline. And we need to go into that world of thinking, of cause. We need to understand our minds in order for us to then start to, control the chemistry of emotion and control the chemistry of our feelings, and also to then control the words and the actions that we manifest in our conversations, in our narrative, written and verbal, in the way that we engage in work and business and life. So let's not make this about the symptoms. Let's make this about the cause. So alongside age-old wisdom techniques, the hacking of using new and emerging technologies and leveraging science, we also want to go deep. We want to go beyond the surface of just changing what we do or how we behave, but going into our mental modeling and our root cause. And that's what this Tea with Mel is all about. So I am absolutely delighted to be sharing with you the launch of this new initiative, the launch of the culmination of my body of work, working in the areas and disciplines of age-old wisdom, working in and with organizations and leaders in digital transformation and strategy, using new and emerging technology for good. And also in my history and work in the world of modern mindset as the author of modern mindset theory, the science, the psychology of the mind. I'm able to bring all of that together because I have been able to codify these disciplines, these areas, codify them together to master my own time, energy, and attention. And I want to be able to bring that knowledge, to bring that, all of those hours, all of those years. I want to bring all of that journey together, all of those learnings together, so that you can master time, energy, and attention and so much quicker than me, by following the codified journey that I've put together in Tea with Mel. This is a holistic approach to success and performance, not just in your work, but in life in general. So there's ways that you can engage right here, right now, at the beginning of this journey with me, as I bring the knowledge and the experience, the journey that I've been on, sharing it with you and the world, is number one, our LinkedIn page. So we're going to be putting together a LinkedIn page, and I would love for you to join that. Just search for Tea with Mel and you will be able to find that LinkedIn page. And there I will be sharing insights, and we will be building and fostering community together. We will learn, we will play, we will explore together. I won't say fail, because in my world there is no failure, there is only learning. And when you think about everything as learning, failure just disappears. You can also join me on Instagram, where of course there will be more insights, but just a little bit more fun. So you might want to follow me on Instagram as well, in terms of just getting a little bit more of the light-hearted, quick, fast, bite-sized chunks of things. But most importantly to me, and what I am really passionate about, is the launch of my 12-week one-to-one coaching for work and life transformation. And this is so unique, because what this is doing is this is allowing you in 12 weeks to work with me to master time, energy and attention for your work and for your life, using all of the wisdom, all of the technology and all of the science that I have been able to tap into on my journey. making it something that you can achieve in 12 weeks, when for me, it's taken probably the same in years. And that journey is available to anyone at the moment, that one-to-one coaching journey between 20 minutes and 1 hour with me over 12 weeks, neatly kind of chunked into a third, but clearly understanding that everybody's journey is different. For you, as an example, it might be that the technology hacking, the technology skills that we can work on might be as simple as just muting notifications on some of your mobile devices, just understanding technology hygiene, maybe just bringing some very low level automated rules into Outlook or into some of the programs that you are using in your daily life. But for some of you, it might be, as it is with some leaders that I'm working with, working in the world of prompt engineering and trying to explore that world of really re-engineering the way that you use and think about technology in order to master time, energy, and attention. Those are just some examples for you from a technology perspective. What I want to do is I also want to share with you some of the real kind of outcomes and outputs that you can expect to experience and to achieve if you are willing to come on the journey and to bring together holistically the mastery for your life and for your work of time, energy, and attention. From a time perspective, the majority of people that I work with very easily and very quickly release 2 hours in their week, very easily and very quickly. The majority of people working with me end up generating, on average, 1 day in the week. What would you do with an extra 2 hours or 1 day in a week? Play, learn, love, explore, connect. Energy. I mentioned I would come back to this later on. It's interesting because there are 4 types of energy. 3 types of energy are limited. 1 type of energy is unlimited. The limited types of energy are cognitive energy, our brain, our mental energy, and also our emotional energy, our feelings, the chemistry of the emotions, as well as our physical energy, the real motor kind of neuron physicality of our movement and our bodies. Each one of those energy types is limited. As we go through the day, when we start the day on full, as we work through the day, we lose more and more of that charge, and it depletes as we flow through our day. But the 4th type of energy is positive, relational energy. And that's unlimited. You know, back to that example that I gave you of when you or someone walks into a meeting, a conversation, or a party, and their energy is positive, their energy is leveled up. And that is amazing, because when our energy is higher, that means that we can play. That means that it is unlimited, because it just keeps recharging. Think about the electric car. Think about solar energy. Positive energy is solar energy. You know, the sun is always shining through the day, and you just keep recharging. It's unlimited. It is amazing. And what's also amazing about the unlimited idea of positive energy is it's contagious. It's sticky. It ripples out. It just goes out and it boomerangs back. It is absolutely amazing. And of course, attention really, for most of the people that I work with, is really starting to become more competent and in control of laser focus. What is valuable? What is meaningful? What is really important? Laser focus. And being able to just block out the white noise and the distractions that are around us. And when we're able to just hone in and laser focus on a single thing, then we have got that increased propensity to enter into the flow state and the deep working states. They're not magic. Flow and deep work is not a magical, mythical thing. It is a skill that we can learn and you can learn. Some of the outputs that people have shared with me over the years when I've worked with them on energy, on time, energy and attention are what you see here. And of course, you know, some of what we can see here has already been mentioned. One thing I just want to pick out for everybody is this: becoming a role model for others. We are in a time poverty pandemic. Energy levels have never been more of a struggle for us to sustain, maintain, or raise. And our focus, our attention, our control of our thoughts has also never been so pulled in all different directions that we can get overwhelmed very, very quickly. These things are outputting negative displays of burnout, anxiety, health trauma, bad sleep, and the spiral down of all of those things. What we can do when we are masters of time and energy and attention is we are spiraling up. And when we're spiraling up, we can help others start to spiral up as well. So becoming a role model to help others master time, energy, and attention is such an amazing output that time and again, I am told by people that I work with that comes along. But more holistically, this is really what this is about. The mastery of time and energy and attention gives us courage and bravery to move, to try, to lean into uncertainty, to recognize the future as untapped potential and possibility. And that means that we can build competence, flow and flexibility with time. It means that we can move. There is space to dance in between the gaps, which brings hope and happiness. I know I'm not talking woo-woo. I'm not, you know, hope and happiness to me are very, very important and serious things, and are the right of every human being to tap into and to share an experience. And of course, all of that together speaks to success and speaks to strength in terms of who we are as a human being. Everything that you see here are outcomes experienced by people who master time, energy, and attention, not just in work, but also in life, which I think is really, really powerful. The ability for us to start to understand that it's not about work, it's about life, and the harmony of play, work, love, stop, silence, travel, all of that stuff is life, right? And so I come to the end of today's wee chat. I hope that there is something that you've heard today that has really resonated with you, piqued your interest, has made you think, oh gosh, yes, if for yourself, perhaps for others as well. And so my question to you is this: time for tea? I would love for you to come and have some tea with Mel whether that is joining the LinkedIn community that we're putting together, whether that is following me on Instagram for a little bit of fun as well as insights, or indeed if you really are wanting to master time, energy, and attention for yourself once and for all, not to dibble and dabble in some of the symptomatic offers that are out in the world, but to master all three of those things from the root cause of where your thoughts and your beliefs drive everything, deeply in that, from that place, and using the three techniques, the three areas of skill and expertise that I have codified for you in the one-to-one coaching program: old age wisdom, new and emerging technology hacks, and science. A 12-week mentoring, coaching, one-to-one experience to master those three elements for your life to become successful and strong. And with that, I will leave you for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to stay with me and listen to me, for giving energy into what I've been talking about and offering as reflection, and for focusing in and being present. I'll see you at tea time.